What's shaking, Chewy Nation? ChewbaccaLemma here, back with another Madden 20 video, but it's not just me. We also have Chewy Jr. down there hanging out as we're making a video. I love sniping, and I wanted to have a video about sniping. I've had some decent success lately, just kind of getting back into it. So I wanted to show you guys, I don't know if you picked up, the wind got picked up on my mic there. It's kind of crazy here in Ohio. But I want to show off some sniping techniques and how to make a lot of coins and how to get these big snipes, as well as talk about the smaller snipes as well. As Most Feared is approaching, there's always a lot of coins to be had. So on the screen you will see some snipes, one miss-sniped as well. I had this Jamal Adams snipe that I showed in the last videos. That was solid, nice little 50k. I also had a Adam Thielen near snipe, unfortunately unable to get that. I had a Christian McCaffrey snipe, which ended up being really good. You know, a 200k card, getting it for 100k. And then just before I started making this video, I'm like trying to get ready, I'm preparing, and I land this Desmond Trufant, which is actually still in the auction house. So a half hour ago I got this, not even 25 minutes ago. So hopefully it sells for that, but still 100k. It was for 5 seconds. I have no idea how I landed that snipe. I guess a lot of people must have been watching the EA stream. Nobody was sniping, but let's talk about how it worked and why I believe it to be very successful, and just some strategies for you to land these big snipes. But I don't want to just be about landing big snipes. Not everybody has tons of coins. I want to talk about how you can make a lot of coins with a lower chip stack. Back in my Texas Hold'em days, my coin stack here. I know not everybody has a high coin stack, so we'll talk about that as well. But one of the favorite things I like to do at this present moment, 9293s, there's not a whole lot to talk about there because there's just not that many. You see, it doesn't even fill the whole. There's really just not that many. Nice little Alvin Kamara there for 1.1 million, but there's just not that many 9293s. So if you want to snipe these, there's nothing I can do to help you except just sit here and double click AA or XX on PlayStation and just keep double clicking until something comes up and get a snipe. There's nothing I can do to help you there. Good connection, so you can snipe faster, I guess, so the loading time is faster, but there's not really any helpful hints to get these snipes. I was kind of delayed a little bit. I was hoping that something would pop up for the video, but it doesn't even look like no one wants to post a 9293. There's not that many in the game, obviously. So yeah, there's really not much to it. Hey, there's a Vic. So not a good deal, but 1993s. But what I really like to focus on is 9091s and 88 to 89. So that's what the core crux of the video is going to be about, since I want to show some of those snipes off. But I do want to talk about Most Feared as well, and how you can make a lot of coins on Most Feared. I will be at school when it first launched, so I won't be able to take advantage of this, but I hopefully will help you guys be able to do it if you are doing this. If you're watching this before Most Feared launch, or before the following week when the next set of Most Feared launches, you can take advantage of it as well. But let's talk about the filters and how you can make coins with Most Feared or not, right now, or when Most Feared comes out, or after. The basic idea I wanted to talk about. So if you just want to snipe 9091s, if you noticed there was something different I had to do. You can't just do 991s unless you're on PC. I'd just be able to do Elite. Sadly, there's not much you have to do on PC to get a filter. But if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, this is just not going to work. You see 34 minutes. So we got to do some clever things to make that say 59. We want to see the newest cards. It always shows the 100 cards closest to expiring. I don't need to go into detail too much. If you're not sure, check out my basic sniping tutorial. It's like 100k views or something. It's crazy. Just a little plug there. But what we have to do is we have to do something clever, or maybe not so clever. Sometimes it's easy as just doing all offense, all defense, to make it say 59, to make sure we're seeing the newest cards. Sadly, this isn't going to work. And there's nothing, there is stuff we can do. I shouldn't say that, but it's not there, right? 56 minutes is not 59. It's not good. You're not going to get any snipes that have been up for 3-4 minutes generally. So we got to do some stuff. Now, I think the most logical thing would be to add a letter here and just add like the letter A, but you may know this if you're a sniper, for whatever reason, the search bar and all this bar up here don't talk to each other. They hate each other. If you try to do a letter with anything up here, it will say nothing on the auction house. It makes no sense. All I'm saying is I want 991s with the letter A and on offense that have the letter A in their name. That's all I want. But if you've been on last year or this year, you know that they don't talk to each other, and you can't do that. That would be ideal. So we gotta do some work to see 59 minutes, this is not going to work. So I'm sorting by time remaining because it makes it easier to see. I want to see cards that are up for an hour or more. So that's why I like time remaining here. So this is not going to work. So all offense, you could just do all defense. Probably doesn't work either, but I'll just show you. Is borderline, right on the edge. So right at 59, this card has been up for, just got posted, this JJ Watt. So you're right on the edge, so that's a little bit concerning because if there's a few cards that get posted, you're not going to see them. You know, if they get posted within the span of a few whatever. It's really close to being too many on the auction house with this filter. So if that didn't make any sense, don't really think about it too much. Just you want to see more than 59, hour or more. So that's not great. But it's okay, it can work. You could just do wide receiver. This is what I did with that Desmond Trufant. You could just do different positions. But I personally don't really love this. You will see ones at 8 hours and 24 hours they post them. I just don't really like this filter. I don't like that. There's just not that many that get posted. But you could go through the positions and you could have decent success there just going through. Like I said, that's how I just hit the Desmond Trufant. So there's definitely some good stuff that can happen there. But what I'd rather do is I want to try to get a really, really good filter where it's really close to, like, you're seeing the 1 hour cards and there's a lot of cards being posted. That's my ideal of a good filter. So I want to make this say 59, but I also want it to be like a lot of cards being posted. So I'm going to try to get this as close as possible, but it has to be over because I want to make sure I'm seeing the cards up for 59 minutes. So what I'll do is I might mess around with this cap value a little bit. So let's just do 31 to 40. Let's see what this does. Well, that's 59. Let's see how close this is. Looks good. 4 hours, that's not bad. You could just sit on this filter. That's all right. You could sit on this. Should be populated pretty frequently. If you just double click AA on any of those that say all, it will refresh the filter. So if you're wondering why yours doesn't refresh as fast, or maybe yours is faster, it's your internet connection. So unfortunately, there's not much I can do to help. But yeah, see, that said 1 hour. That was like a perfect refresh. Unfortunately, not a great deal on Hendrix. And then you could try 41 to 50. See, this says 59. How good is this filter? Oh, this one's really good. Look at that 1 hour. It's barely good. These are 1 hour, so that just means there's a lot of cards on this filter, but enough. It's more than 59. So this is actually really, really good. So if I refresh here, we should see cards pretty frequently. This is a great filter, I think. You obviously see great high-valued cards. As we are on 9091s, like you're going to see good high-value cards, and you can just double-click AA on any of these that say all, and it will refresh. You see the loading on the bottom, and there's going to be cards that keep populating. This is a really, really solid filter. I highly recommend. Obviously, everybody doing it would probably hurt it, but something like this is really, really good. When you get something like Most Feared come, though, what you'll notice is you'll be like, that filter doesn't work. Now we got to do a little bit more work. You could do all offense, all defense. You could mess around with that. Or what I like to do is mess around with this search function. So maybe add the letter A or the letter E or the letter T or something like that to make it where you see 59 minutes. I'm going to get rid of that, and I want to show you exactly how that works. So I'm going to switch by time remaining again. I want to make this over an hour. That's the goal, because I want to make sure I'm seeing the hour cards. So let's just try a letter. So if you try a letter like A, it's a pretty common letter. You're probably not going to get too far. You got it to 48 minutes. You're getting there. You're making some progress, but not quite. So you could try some other letters. It's really just search. You just kind of mess around with it. 44. Ooh, E wasn't quite as good. Let's try something like Y. Try something like Y. 5 hours. Okay, that's good. You're at least seeing newest cards if you do that filter. Let's try something like M. M has been decently successful for me. 2 hours. Ooh, that was good. Okay. So M, we're going to see the cards. It's over an hour, 2 hours. So we're going to see cards that are new, that are posted for an hour, which is good. You could try to make a filter where you're seeing over 7 hours, if you want to, or 8 hours, I should say. So you're seeing the 8-hour ones posted. You could mess around with that as well. But a combination of this is going to be really, really important if you want to snipe. So this, when Most Feared comes out, there's a chance that this maybe doesn't work. So then you got to maybe mess around with the cap value, something like that, plus this. And then you got a filter that works. You're going to have to add something to the model, right? Like you got to add another variable to it. I'm a math guy, you know. So. But you got to add something to it to make it work. Either way, you want to make sure you're seeing the newest cards, and that's really important. And since Most Feared is about to come, I think it's important to know that this can be really, really successful sniping those Most Feared cards, those high-level ones. But you don't want to just try to focus on the Most Feared cards because there's not going to be that many of them, most likely. Maybe there will be, but there's not going to be that many posted the higher overalls. So you want to make a filter where you don't just want to go after the most feared cards, you want to go after other cards as well. Because if you're just trying to snipe a Ray Lewis, we'll say, odds are, even if one pops up for a good price, a lot of people are doing it. You don't want that. You want to have a filter that can hit many other things. It can hit maybe a Desmond Trufant, which I hit, or I wasn't particularly going after Desmond Trufant, but or maybe a Sammy Watkins. I sniped one of those earlier. What, Christian McCaffrey, whatever it may be. You want to filter like that. Now, when you go to 88 to 89, another one that I really like, very similar. Mess around with the letters, mess around with the cap values. Again, you want to make sure you're seeing the newest cards. You saw the M work there, but if we have no letter here, 39 minutes, that's no good. You might just be able to do all offense or all defense. The only hesitation of this is if it doesn't work like this, then you can't like add a letter. You can mess with the cap value, but remember, these guys don't talk to each other. Type and search don't talk to each other. They hate each other. It will not be seen together. So just something to think about when you're making a filter, that you do have some restrictions. Whenever you use the search bar or the type, you can't like go use the other one. Man, that's so silly they haven't fixed that. Okay, now let's talk about the very last thing I want to talk about, which is probably the most important thing. Maybe I should have led with this, but the most important thing, the best coin making technique that I can give you is when the promo drops, whatever that is, 4 o'clock, at 4:30, whatever it is, Eastern Standard Time. When that promo drops, if you want to make coins, what you should be doing is sniping the most feared cards. What you'll notice is, and it's really tough to explain this, but since I'm going to be gone, I can't really show it to you like right away. And plus, by the time it goes, I get my video up and all that stuff, it may not work as well anyway. But what you want to do is you want to go to whatever the promo is. We'll say Core Elite. This might be good. So we'll just act like that says whatever the most feared one is called. So most feared or whatever. Core Elite. And I'll just do Elite. There should be way too many of these on the auction now. Something like this. Let me see. Newest 20 minutes. Okay. So what people will do is they'll just search by, let me do all players. This is how people buy cards. They'll be like, oh, Kenny Stills, that's the cheapest one up, and they'll buy it for 9,000. So you can sell them for 9,000 over and over and over again. Kenny Stills for 9,000. But you can get them for much cheaper. That's not the cheapest Kenny Stills on the auction house, no. But people will think it is because they're silly and they don't know how the auction house works. 100 cards closest to expiring. So even this Cameron Hayward, 11,100, is it even the cheapest one up? I'm kind of curious, actually. Let me see. Is that even the cheapest Cameron Hayward? 11,000, what was it, 11,100? Look at that. Somebody just paid that. I know this one's only been up for a little bit, but look, here's this one. Somebody just paid, what, 11,000 for that? So this has been up for 7 minutes. People will overpay, not realizing how the auction house works. And that's really where you make your coins when these new promos come out. You're like, oh, most feared card. Okay, so people are paying 9,200 for them. You can like search down and you're just like, okay, I'll just go to Texans, and you'll be able to get them for like 6,000. I'll repeat it. You just keep able to get them for 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000 for much cheaper, and then you sell them for 9, and you make a bunch of coins. Super easy. And maybe not even 6,000, maybe 5,000, maybe 4,000, because people just, again, they don't realize how the auction house works and how this is not actually the cheapest Dalvin Cook on the auction house. People think it is. I know, it's silly. They don't realize that this is 100 cards closest to expiring using this filter. This is not the cheapest Dalvin Cook. So people will overpay for it. So just think about that when you see, as you see, I just want to prove that 8,100. There's an 8,100. But people, that 9,200 Dalvin Cook will sell. It will sell. So when these new promos come out, you really should be taking advantage of the people that, I know that sounds bad, but that overpay. They just buy them and then they put them in a set. And then they just keep rinsing and repeating over and over and over again. They buy and they put them in a set, and buy and put them in a set. And if you're smart, you can make a lot of coins off of them right when the promos drop. Within the first like hour or two, you can make hundreds of thousands of coins. So it's definitely beneficial to get on there and start sniping. And if you're really worried about it, so you're like, the cards are going to plummet in value, you might be able to sell them for 9, but by the time it's 45 minutes later and it hasn't sold, you might be thinking it's maybe gonna sell for 8,500 or 8. You can just put them up for 8,500 or 8,000, because you're gonna probably be buying these for like 5,000, 6,000 or whatever it may be. You're gonna be buying them for much cheaper, so you can give yourself more leeway if you want to make sure they sell. You can put them up for whatever you want, but I'm just saying that shouldn't be too much of a concern. I kind of overlooked this. I kind of glossed over this, but make sure you don't take them off the auction house. You wait till the end because a lot of cards sell at the very last few minutes. This Dalvin Cook, if somebody would take it off the auction house, that would be silly. He will sell for 9,200. So he'll sell and somebody will buy it, just like we saw that Cameron Hayward. They don't realize how the auction house works. So just make sure you give it the whole hour. A lot of cards sell within the last couple minutes, last 10 minutes, last 5 minutes, last 1 minute, last 10 seconds. So just think about that when you're posting cards. You got 20 auctions you can put up. You could obviously do this on multiple accounts if you wanted to, but you only get 20 auctions per account. But you should be using those when new promos drop. So just think about that. Hopefully that was helpful. I know it's kind of like I'm trying to foresee without being able to really show, but by the time I made a video, it would not be as good. And also, I can't make a video because I'll be at school. I'll be taking an exam and all that stuff. So, I can't really do much. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Hopefully this was helpful. Like showing those sniping techniques. If you want to see more of those, let me know. I'll be glad to bring filters. If you want to give me comments like I have so-and-so or how do you snipe so-and-so, leave that and maybe that will give me, something I can do for a video. So I have so many coins. What would you do with this? Or I'm trying to snipe so-and-so, or I'm trying to get some wide receivers. What would you recommend for sniping, or something like that? Training. What would you do with anything like that? I'll try to help you guys out and make way more videos. Sniping related is definitely my passion. So hopefully that was helpful. Thank you guys so much. Junior is very appreciated as well. You can't really see his head, but he's down there. I just made him freak out, but he's down there. He's such a good baby. He doesn't cry at all. He's wonderful. But thank you guys so much. Longer video than it probably needed to be, but try to give as much as possible. So you guys are incredible. That's all I got. ChewbaccaLemma.